Would he be a Republican? Can you see the Republicans endorsing him, or would he be an independent?
Well, I mean, clearly he would go for a Republican nomination. I think it's incredibly far-fetched possibility, but he has made some waves and touched some nerves, and it's not just the birther issue, which I totally agree is just kind of an idiotic issue, I think. What I actually am writing about this week, or intend to write about this week, is that he has really been very pugnacious about China. And I think Americans want to hear that. I think Americans are ready for someone to say, hey, why are we letting them take these jobs away from us? Don't we have any leverage here? And in fact, Donald Trump has said, yes, we do. And I think Americans like that message.
But let me tell you, Harris, as an image consultant, Donald Trump running for the Republican nomination is a great thing for us. We're really happy. We hope he does great in Iowa, because what it will show is that the Republican Party is so divided that they can't even get behind a nominee. So even if the Democratic Party, which we do have our issues, we don't have as many issues as the Republican Party does. We've already picked our nominee. There's not really any clear understanding of what the Republican Party is looking for. You have the Tea Party folks, which are looking for one thing. You have the independent folks looking for another. You have the old Republican guard possibly backing Mitt Romney. And Donald Trump in this race shows that the Republican field is still wide open, and it shows that the Republican Party is in a little bit of a disarray.
As it usually is at this point in the election race. I mean, at this point, prior to the last presidential cycle, Hillary Clinton was the absolute victor. Everyone knew it. Barack Obama was a complete outsider. And the Republicans were also divided, but it was certainly not John McCain, who was clearly going to be the candidate at that time. I think that's pretty normal operating procedure. I would grant you that Donald Trump being in the race is peculiar. No question
Richard,
about it.
The last I checked, I thought the game was to win. So, what if, just trying to get our mind around Donald Trump and what might be inside his head, if anyone can do that fairly, what if the whole idea here is just to almost unite Republicans? I mean, he jumps into the race. Yeah, maybe everybody can't decide to get behind him, but they can decide, as a party that Obama for sure isn't our guy. And then he pokes a hole so deep that the president comes out and talks about an issue that he hasn't talked about before. Now, it's good strategy then if the game is to win, even if the game isn't to win yourself.
Well, I think you could be right there, but the other end of that coin, or the other side of that coin is that Donald Trump being in this race causes some other issues for the Republican Party, in that Donald Trump is not your typical quintessential Republican. He's given to Democrats.
Well, he's not typical anything.
True, very true. He's given to Democrats more than he's given to Republicans. On top of that, I think Donald Trump's ability to calvarize certain members of the Republican Party could cause a split after the primary, and that they won't be able to get behind one particular candidate or toe the line. What we saw, the distinction between this Donald Trump field going into 2012 and the Obama-Hillary Clinton field going into the previous election cycle is that everybody is saying a different message. At least with Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, there weren't as many clear distinctions as you'll find in the Republican Party brand, where the distinctions are all over the place, what makes it so hard to catalyze where they're, how they mobilize their base after the primary contest.
Well, I think that's an interesting thought, but I would say that there's a wide spectrum of Republican thought. I think you're right, but almost all of it is antithetical to what Obama's doing in the White House. So on that, they are pretty well united in terms of cutting spending. There isn't a Republican candidate out there who's not talking about cutting spending and trying to attack our budget deficit in the near term and the long term, which the Obama White House continues to, basically shy away from. I think Republicans are generally for production of domestic oil and gas and energy, and not keen to rein in all of our domestic energy sources in a quest for greener energy. I think that unites them. So I think there are actually some very appealing messages to the American people that unite Republicans. That said, I agree with you. There is a spectrum.